Welcome to Comics Bazaar, the channel of comics commentary and arcana. And this video features the Uncanny X-Men number 274, cover dated March 1991. This cover, of course, is by Jim Lee, inked by Scott Williams, and it features Magneto and Rogue, Ka-Zar, Lord of the Savage Land, and Nick Fury, head of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, opening up the issue, it begins with what has become a favourite device of Claremont's, using a TV reporter to set the scene and catch the reader up on key information for the context of the subsequent story. So in this, Trish Tilby, who is also the Beast's girlfriend, is reporting on strange events in the south of Argentina and at Antarctica, at the South Pole, where in the Marvel Universe there is the Savage Land. So these strange towers have been rising at the South Pole. They feature there in the second panel, and there has been a massive and destructive earthquake in southern Argentina, and all of this seems to be related. So the UN sends a team, a joint American and Russian team led by Nick Fury, to investigate what is going on at the South Pole. So over the page, what we have here is a magnificent two-page splash, a double splash in fact, of Magneto, Rogue, and Ka-Zar, and in the background there is Zabu, who is Ka-Zar's saber-tooth tiger. And throughout this issue we have in these green caption boxes Magneto's ongoing interior monologue, where we learn what is his thinking about the upcoming inevitable showdown with the cause behind those towers and the earthquake that is Zaladane, last seen in Uncanny X-Men 250, when she stole Polaris's powers of magnetism and is using those powers in the Savage Land to take over and rule the Savage Land as a tyrant, and is going to use those 6 towers in order to take over the magnetic forces of the entire planet. So what happens is that the team is attacked by Zaladane's soldiers and former colleagues of Magneto's, the mutates here, who first appeared in X-Men number 62 by Roy Thomas and Neil Adams. So Magneto is the creator of these characters, including here Barbarous. And Rogue tries to intervene by using her powers to steal the powers of anyone she makes physical contact with. She kisses Barbarous there, but is shocked to discover that she hasn't taken his powers from him at all, or anything. She is also at this point minus the powers that she gained originally from Carol Danvers, and in effect then she is a human in terms of her abilities. Magneto intervenes. He has rounded up the mutates and Zaladane's soldiers, and he is threatening to kill Barbarous here, but Rogue intervenes, crying for mercy, and Magneto accedes and brings Barbarous and the others deep down into the earth of the Savage Land, and leaves them imprisoned in a cave underground, but with access to water and other sources of sustenance. Then we have a very interesting series of pages where we learn in greater detail Magneto's thoughts in these caption boxes, and in particular his moral thinking regarding his past as leader of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, how far he's come from then, and yet how he sees ahead of himself a dark future. And he's thinking about the coming conflict and battle with Zaladane, who's pictured here in this anchor image, leading the other remaining mutates and her soldiers. And then we have a page where Magneto is resting and sleeping and having nightmares about his past. And this all goes back to Claremont's addition to Magneto's past in Uncanny X-Men 150, when he revealed that Magneto was an inmate of Auschwitz. So in these panels here, Magneto remembers flowers, scent of growing things, joyful sounds of life, so clear, so crisp after more than half a century. Someone sobs, my sister holds tight my hand. My father still cannot believe this is happening. I hear laughter. The guns blaze and I'm falling with the others into darkness. Loamy earth, smell tainted by the acrid burning of lime. All of us pressed so tight together, embracing eternity. So easy to give up, lie in my grave, breathe my last. But I fight. So gaining insight into Magneto's character as a survivor, as someone who won't give up and be resigned to the status of a victim or defeat. And so we have him resolved to suit up here in this panel and go out and face Zaladane and her troops. So then we have the battle between them, and Magneto is bested by Zaladane in this particular encounter, and as she concludes in the panel here, Zaladane rules supreme. Ka-Zar and Rogue battle against the mutates and other soldiers flying on the pterosaurs. The mutates seem to be getting the best of things, but then Nick Fury and the surviving members of the UN team sent to Antarctica show up and blast away, frightening off the mutates and Zaladane soldiers. So Nick expresses his surprise that Rogue isn't dead, because of course, going back to Uncanny X-Men 227, the whole world thought that the X-Men perished in Texas. So this is the first time that Nick has seen Rogue alive. And then they exchange information on what's going on regarding Zaladane. Nick Fury is arguing with the Russian colonel who's leading the Russian contingent of troops about what to do next, that they should return to the States and alert the Avengers, who have the power to deal with Zaladane. And then Magneto appears on the scene, and the Russian colonel Semyonov is shocked and orders his troops to take aim at Magneto. But this was a hologram. Magneto was assessing what would be the reaction to his appearance, and Rogue and Nick Fury have decided to drop their weapons, or at least not aim at Magneto. So then again, information is exchanged, but Semyonov is not happy to cooperate with Magneto, because, as he reveals here, in a connection with past continuity, my son was a lieutenant aboard the submarine Leningrad, and as Magneto recalls, Leningrad was a nuclear submarine that he sunk with all hands aboard after the submarine attacked him with its missile system. So he acted in self-defense, but it's the ghost of the past catching up with him here. So he decides to walk off, that no one's going to listen to him, but Rogue intervenes and persuades him to stick with them and to develop a plan together. And over the course of this issue, there is something of an incipient romance developing between Magneto and Rogue as well, evident in this particular panel here. So then the plan is agreed between the UN team and Magneto. Magneto stays behind to do his bit, and Ka-Zar says to Fury that he's not sure about Magneto exactly. In his eyes there was a look, probably nothing, but whatever comes we can count on him to do his part. In the meantime, Magneto is in his interior monologue contemplating what it is he's going to have to do, which is kill Zaladane, that it's the only way she could be dealt with. And as he concludes here at the panel, in this particular panel, will Rogue and Ka-Zar consider this, his killing Zaladane, his final ultimate betrayal? So then the scene switches to pick up from the last page of the previous issue, Uncanny X-Men 273, when Lila Cheney teleported the X-Men to an unknown destination. Guido, strong guy, is left behind to explain things to Cyclops and Jean Grey. So then we pick up with this anchor image here of the whole team and Lila Cheney. And the next couple of pages reveal this strange environment that seems to have this semi-sentient substance on the walls that attacks the X-Men and that seems to incapacitate them. Wolverine uses his claws to attack the substance, but nonetheless the X-Men are incapacitated. And then this mysterious figure appears in silhouette, who it turns out to be Deathbird. That is Lilandra's younger sister, a former enemy of the X-Men, Deathbird. And here she says she's looking forward to a time when she might be able to take them on as a team or in single combat, but she's got a small task for them to perform. She wishes them to slay Professor Charles Xavier. So the next issue, 275, is a double-sized one, which continues and concludes both. It continues and concludes the storyline set in the Savage Land, and continues this new storyline with Deathbird and the X-Men. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like the video, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more content like this.